Yep. Here we go with another
episode of CPE as we get ready for another good Raw and SmackDown review for week 2.
Yep, so week 2 has gone by since the draft and since Raw and SmackDown has become its separate shows. I will say for this Raw, it was actually easy to sit through. For me. For me at least. It was easy to sit through, I'll admit.
Well, hey, they're getting there. They're getting there.
Yeah. It wasn't great. Wasn't like, wasn't anything special, wasn't anything exciting. It was just it was an easy Raw to get through, and it was pretty good.
Even to the third hour.
Yeah. Whoa, there's light. There shall be light. All right, so I guess we might as well get this on our way. It was I liked that they mixed it up with no authority figure to open up. We actually open up with the women. You actually open up with the women's champion, new women's champion Sasha Banks,
cutting her promo of how great she is to finally be the women's champion. When it should have happened at WrestleMania 32, but we're over that.
Well, I mean, this kind of made up for it of her winning last week.
Yeah.
So that was all fine and good. Obviously, Charlotte. You kind of knew Charlotte was gonna come out and say that she was It was. I don't like hearing Charlotte talk, to be honest. And just like her saying that they're like, oh, I saw a fly and that's why you thought I was tapping, and it's like
you be.
It's like, okay, can you write something better for her to have an excuse like this?
That's not even original.
And it's not. No, it's not even that. It's just like they've really made her into she's a talent. She's very talented in the ring. It's just they really limited her, obviously, from what we saw and how she could be character wise. And we saw here with her saying that she saw a fly. It's like, can you do better than that?
I don't even remember that excuse.
That's what I remember. Sasha and her had a back and forth,
and then
a good back and forth.
And then from out of nowhere, Jericho comes out. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
what's Jericho doing here?
Yeah, I'm literally like, okay, what does he have to do with all this now? I'm like, what's going on here? And then you have Jericho bad-mouthing Sasha, calling her a brat and everything,
and backing up Charlotte. Oh wait, we forgot to mention.
What?
The one night stand references.
Well, I mean, I knew that. I just figured back and forth. The one night stand references were pretty cool.
If it weren't
pretty funny.
If it weren't for your dad having a one night stand, you wouldn't be here. So much burn.
You thought. Yeah, man, I loved every minute of that promo until the part where Jericho came out. I'm like, what's going on here? But then it kind of interests me a little. Then you got Enzo Amore coming out to back up Sasha and kind of flirt with her a little bit.
Then that leads into.
I will say, this promo was pretty good. It just nitpicking a little. It dragged a little bit. I feel like it was going on a little too long.
I can agree.
It was going on a little too long. I was like, okay, can we get to the point now? Could we get to where this is gonna lead to? Because I knew where this is gonna lead to. I knew it was gonna lead to some kind of mixed tag. Which, hey, you know what? We haven't seen mixed tags in a while. It's good to actually see one right now.
Yeah, it's been years, and from what we saw, it was decent, quite solid.
Yeah, it was kind of decent. I didn't really see most of it. I was taking my dog out. But I did see the rest, and it was decent.
And no complaints that Charlotte had to beat Sasha in such a dirty fashion, even though it's going to lead to their match at SummerSlam anyway.
Yeah. And then you got Jericho attacking Enzo, and then Cass coming in to save, and then Jericho skedaddling out. Oh my god! I just remembered.
What?
The most awkward moment after that whole match ended, after Jericho, Charlotte, Jericho and Charlotte and Dana Brooke were leaving.
Mm-hmm.
The most awkward moment from the referee had the title belt, and he thought Charlotte was the champion. He was literally going. I don't know if you saw that. You probably did.
No.
He was going. It was very subtle. He had the women's championship in his hand, and he was going to give it to Charlotte, and he thought Charlotte was the champion. Oh my god, I was dying. I was like, are you kidding me?
Do you know who the champ is?
The ref doesn't even know who the women's champ is. He's like about to give it to Charlotte, and he's like, oh, I'm screwing up. Sasha's in the ring. Oh my god. That was entertaining. That was... Oh god, he almost spit out whatever he was drinking. So yeah, it was really entertaining. It was a botch, but it was entertaining botch. I laughed at it. It couldn't help but laugh at that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed myself. That kind of sat me in and like kind of kept me relaxed the rest of the night and be like, I wonder what else could happen tonight.
That was highlight of the night.
Oh my god, that was. I was really like, what an idiot. You don't even know who the women's champion is.
That should be moment of the year for the Slammies.
That should be botch of the year.
Yes, please.
There should be a botch of the year for Slammies.
Yeah, because Sin Cara would have won those last few years.
Oh yeah, you would have made Sin Cara a star there. And you got Braun Strowman having another jobber match.
An enhancement match, you mean? But either way.
A what?
Isn't it also called an enhancement match?
Oh, I didn't know. I've never heard it. I've never heard that before.
Well, I can look. We can look that up later.
But yeah, was what it was. Loving these jobber matches. Don't do it a lot. I don't think they should do it a lot constantly every week. It'll kind of get repetitive. They'll kind of run it into the ground a little bit. Sooner or later, you got to have Nia Jax and Braun Strowman like face actual people. I mean, I know you're trying to build them up as monsters, but like, don't keep that going for like every week.
Yep, won't be surprised if we get a Nia Jax Braun Strowman mixed tag team match.
Oh boy. What else? Shining Stars defeating Golden. I didn't see that match. R-Truth was on the side playing some Pokemon Go, and Goldust was trying to reach for a tag for him, but was like, oh wait, I got my phone. Let me go get it. Yeah, they were doing the whole Pokemon Go. I didn't care for it. I didn't really care for it. Then you got the whole promo between. First they introduced Michael Cole introduced Finn Balor, then Seth Rollins came out and they had a whole promo before this, and obviously the better person on that whole promo between it was Seth Rollins.
Yes, but at least Finn Balor was nice, was decent on the mic as well. He was able to get his statement out there.
It was for Balor. It's still not clicking. It's just the problem is like, okay, you got the whole demon character and you got that, but it's like who is Finn Balor? When it's not like, what separates Finn Balor from the demon? Like, that's the question. That's kind of like the character time. Like, who is Finn Balor and what, and like why does he become the demon? Like, you can't just say that, he becomes the demon because it's a special occasion. Like, okay, well, why? Like, what does that show of him? Like, why? Like, what separates Finn Balor? Like, who's Finn Balor when he's not the demon? And who is he when he is the demon?
Well, that's a future highlight reel with Finn Balor.
And kind of the other thing too that I noticed with NXT is that, yeah, the entrance is cool. I'm not saying that Finn Balor does not have potential. I love the entrance. I love, he's got a good look. He's got a good physique.
He's over. He has a good moveset.
he's obviously good in the ring, but he can't always just go by that. He's got to have some kind of character because like if it's just moves and kicks, like it's not gonna get over with majority of the fans. And plus, the other thing about this too is like of them rushing it is just that not every WWE fan watches NXT. So if you rush a guy into a big, spot like this, people are going to be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 who is this guy?" Who like what they should have done is before doing all this, you should have at least showed some vignettes or some like past stuff of Finn Balor or like some sit down interviews with Balor to be like, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Like
We
what?
got two.
Like what's your motivation here? Like, and then you have Balor like say whatever his character is and why he's the demon and why he does everything.
Agreed.
I think that should do it, but instead they rush it. Or maybe it's not too late. Maybe they could do this, during the build up for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do the vignettes and promos.
Plus, we still got 2 weeks left until the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah, so they better do this like the next Raw. I'd say.
But I wouldn't be surprised if...
Or if not, maybe the week of SummerSlam.
Yes. Plus, don't be surprised if at SummerSlam they really started interjecting a lot of vignettes and stuff about that Finn Balor has done. Won't be surprised there, but...
And just and what I've noticed too from NXT is that, and this was a good point. I didn't even realize this. It's just that there really was no separation from the Finn Balor, like wrestling wise, no real difference between how Finn Balor is in the ring and when he is the demon. It's the same moves. It's like, I don't think that's the way to go. If you really want to make it like this guy has a split personality of when he's just Finn Balor and when he's the demon. Like when he's the demon, like when he's Finn Balor, he should have like that moveset, whatever he does. But when he's the demon,
more ferocious,
more
attacks.
like more intensity,
more aggressive.
Because that's what a demon is intense and scary. Like
And
make your moves scary and make them intense, make them do
aggressive.
all that. Yeah, I think that's the way to go about it with Finn Balor.
I'm sure they're gonna do that for SummerSlam, no doubt.
I think if you really want to do this with Balor and you're really trying to go all the way with him, I think that's the way to go about it.
Yep, but still, they're planting the seeds, so I'm sure they're gonna go straight with that.
And the whole promo between them, I thought, Seth Rollins trying to get heat for himself, crapping on, what was it, the Atlanta Hawks or something that he was.
I think
trying to get some heat. Ballard, I'll admit, trying to do his best, but still not that convincing on the mic.
Along with Seth Rollins mentioning that he's gonna make an example out of Sami Zayn later tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, that he did later in the night. Okay, so what else? Then you got Mark Henry challenging Rusev for the U.S. title. A rematch from Night of Champions 2014.
But also
2 years ago.
Well, it would have been almost 2 years ago, but it would have made sense for Mark Henry to win, especially with the promo that he made backstage with, I believe, Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley, talking about he wants to do this for America, and hey, he can bring it to the Rio Olympics 2016 with them, but unfortunately, that's no longer the case.
Well, no, obviously, from what... And I thought so, too. I thought, you know what, maybe it's not a bad idea to put the U.S. title on Rusev. Not Rusev.
Rusev, he already has it.
I mean Mark Henry. Because maybe, you have a legitimate guy in Mark Henry, he could kind of build up the U.S. title back up a bit. But they still went with Rusev, and I guess that's fine, because then you have, after the match, where Rusev's cutting a promo of nobody beating him, and then you have Roman Reigns coming out to
red this time
to attack Rusev, and it's like, oh wow, okay. And ironically, at this time, I'm thinking before this, I'm thinking oh wow, since Roman Reigns is out of the title picture, what are they gonna have him do for SummerSlam? Well,
there you go.
We have our answer.
Wait, I think they still did they boo him Well, it's like I can't recall. Well,
I
yeah.
think they did still boo him, or no, maybe I don't know. I forgot.
We'll have to find out.
Maybe there was a little more cheers than before.
If there is, then okay, because we wouldn't actually mind him taking the. I'll mind him taking the title off of Rusev.
I guess so. I guess I don't mind either. Hey, if like if maybe this is a way for Rusev to like move on from the U.S. title and move on to something bigger,
With stuff,
maybe not the Intercontinental, but like something maybe like something other bigger, maybe like a big rivalry or whatever. Then so be it. Then I'm down for
well,
it.
one can wonder who's gonna feud with on Raw, but only time will tell.
Yeah, but it was, I guess it was fine. Uh, you got the battle of the primetime players, Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young. This
Well, Titus was,
this was kind of the weakest of the night.
but Titus did kind of badmouth Darren Young in a heelish kind of way.
And you know what? He made such a good point too, like. And I was kind of liking of how they were doing this, like with Raw and SmackDown lately. They're actually doing like they're actually showing like backstage segments of the two guys being like having something to prove and actually like setting up a match on Raw, like like each week they would just throw like this guy and this guy in a
Together
match
for no reason.
but now they're actually showing like backstage segments of these guys being like, hey, having a little confrontation, and then setting up a match because because of whatever beef they have. So
Yes.
it's like, okay, so there's actually reasoning why these guys are fighting.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
Back to basics.
it's like, okay, fine, I'm kind of digging this. So oh yeah. So they showed like earlier that like Titus and Darren had a little confrontation of Titus O'Neil being like, yeah, I know you're trying to be great again with Bob Backlund, but when were you ever great? And that was a good point. Because when was he ever great? I mean, Primetime Players was good, but it wasn't, like, great.
No.
It wasn't, like, great as Bob Backlund would, like, pitch Darren Young to be, like, great again.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the whole match with Titus and Titus O'Neil winning with a roll-up.
From what I thought, he won in a dirty pin fashion, but
well, yeah, it was a roll-up, and I think he had
the tights.
Yeah,
Jinx.
And I definitely love, and I think this is going to be a good rivalry because now, like, you got maybe I think it's the restart button of like the whole feud between Titus O'Neil and Darren Young from when they first broke up in 2014. How bad that was.
Yeah.
At first we thought it was good, but then they had Titus O'Neil win at the Elimination Chamber, and then they didn't do anything else with any of them.
Yes, but after their match on Raw.
But it looks like they're actually going to do something because they actually bother to have Darren Young on TV and Titus O'Neil do something with him here, and then you have backstage afterwards where Titus O'Neil's threatening to hit Bob Backlund, and then all of a sudden
Darren Young comes in and attacks him.
Darren Young comes in and swings at him.
Don't touch my mentor.
And it's like, okay, all right, I'm feeling this. You actually have a story here. You actually have something going.
Revealed intention as to what's going to lead to SummerSlam.
It's like, all right, this was interesting. I like this. This was pretty good.
Everything's all tying together and coming full circle. And that's all we needed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, then Nia Jax had her squash match. And then afterwards, after she beat her, what was it? I guess, no, it wasn't Byron. Somebody interviewed. I guess it was Byron. Byron Saxton tried to interview her, being like, well, what do you have, how do you feel now? And she's like, well, I'll tell you how I'm feeling. And then she went on to attack
the local jobber.
Yeah. And be like, you tell her how I feel after that. And okay, whatever. Nothing really to say there.
On to the next match.
What was it? Then I think it was a non-title tag match. It was New Day versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
For some reason.
Oh yeah, then they had this whole thing where a New Day member had to be banned from ringside. And I love how they did the whole thing where like whoever pulled out, it was like a bag of oranges, but one banana. If somebody picked a banana, then like they like if somebody picked the banana, then they would be banned. Yeah. It's like the whole straw. It's like similar to the straws thing.
Yeah,
like,
who has the shortest straw?
Yeah.
But then when they do in the ring,
and then I love it. And then they're like about to put it together. I was like, oh god. I was like, oh man, making penis jokes on this show. It's like, all right.
At least they're being subtle about it.
And they're about to. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing, and they didn't touch. And then what happened in the match? I think New Day won, and then I think they injured Big E after the match.
Yeah, crotch shot by pulling him into the turnbuckle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if this is the way to do it, I'm guessing they're having New Day, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson be like the next challengers for the tag titles.
Well, no doubt they'll be the next challengers, but more or less I believe they're going to win the titles.
It looks like it. But yeah, it's kind of not, wasn't that interesting, but you kind of have like Big E out of the equation. They were kind of like really selling that Big E like got legit hurt from this whole thing, from this whole beatdown. So I'm guessing like they're kind of like trying to they're trying to like I don't know how I forgot the words to explain it. Like even the odds a little bit, because now like Big E would be out of the equation, so now it'll be just Kofi and Xavier. Which, all right, you're kind of showing a little weakness for the New Day and, like, actually trying to build Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson as, like, dangerous badasses. I mean, even though they're not that much badasses.
Unfortunately, unless you go back to their matches from New Japan.
Yeah, but this is WWE, so in WWE, that don't matter.
Yes, but when you just have Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods at the front, there's not really much right there. You just have some good offense from Kofi Kingston, and I'm not sure what Xavier Woods does, but he wrestles.
Yeah, yeah, but he wrestles apparently, or else he wouldn't be where he is.
That's unfortunate for either of us to say that, because this is the most charismatic tag team in the WWE today.
Pretty much. Then you got Cesaro and Sheamus 1-on-1. I forgot what it. They were kind of disappointed that like Cesaro, obviously you know the whole deal with Cesaro and how he's disappointed that he went to Raw when clearly SmackDown should be the wrestling brand.
I'm sure they should have. If only they traded him. If they traded him.
And then you got Sheamus, kind of claiming the same thing and saying like they deserve to be there and whatever, and it's like, well, let's have you two duke it out and see who's
the better wrestler
or who's the better competitor. Or I forgot what they were fighting for. They were fighting for some reason.
Not just bragging rights for sure.
No. But like some reason I forgot. But they were fighting for something. So it was a stiff match. But Cesaro came out with the win. Cesaro came out. I don't know. I guess kind of medium.
Okay.
But anyway, Cesaro came out with the win. It was kind of weird how what happened was just like Cesaro wins and then they went to commercial break. Then when they got back, Cesaro and Sheamus are like being held by security for whatever reason.
Which seemed
they're just like a brawl broke out. It's like, all right, but you just got back and now they're like separate. It's like, well, what sparked the brawl? Like, what's going on here?
Well, I guess they just had a mess, and they were probably just too upset at each other that they just wanted to keep going.
I guess I don't know, but that was kind of ridiculous, and I don't know. That was just out of the blue. And then you get Heath Slater back, but this time Jinder Mahal is back with them. The 2MB. is back.
Yeah, but
Wish Drew McIntyre would be there, but I think he's still in TNA.
Yep, with Brother Nero.
with Brother Nero and the deleted with broken Matt Hardy and the deleted Brother Nero.
I wonder how that name even came to be, but okay.
Well, Nero is Jeff Hardy's middle name.
Ah, okay.
So we call him Brother. So, anyways, Heath Slater brings back Jinder Mahal, and then like, we want contracts, and then I think it was Mick Foley was like, well, if you want a contract on Raw, how about you two face off? Whoever wins gets the Raw contract. Then out of nowhere, Mahal kicks Slater in the face and pins him 1, 2, 3, and he gets the Raw contract. Obviously we kind of saw this coming.
Yeah, but of course I'm excited for what's going on with Heath Slater. Like, hey, it started off with him not being drafted to either brand, and then every week we just have Heath Slater come out and complain, like, come on, why would somebody draft me already?
I'm glad. Like, hey, at least Heath Slater's getting TV time.
And getting some story time as well.
Yeah, like, Heath Slater's trying to get on a brand. This is actually a story going on.
And he's helping him get him.
And every time he's failing. And, like, even his buddy, his former 3MB buddy, Jinder Mahal.
Betrayed him.
Yeah. And I'm actually curious to see what they're going to do with Mahal on Raw since he's back.
I'm more curious with Heath Slater, but that's cool, too.
Well, don't forget, on SmackDown, he'll face Rhino. But we'll get to that on SmackDown.
Yeah, one can only wonder if he wins dirty, then I'll be curious how.
And then it was Rollins and Sami Zayn 1-on-1. Seth Rollins obviously coming out with the win.
It was a solid match for what it was.
It was what it was. I don't remember that much of the match, but it did its job. It did what it needed to do. So. Nothing really to say there. Then you got
the main event.
The return of Brock Lesnar.
No, wait, don't you mean Brock Lesnar?
Of course, Paul Heyman. And I don't know if you know, but apparently, they're not going to suspend Brock Lesnar. They're gonna And I don't know if you know, but apparently part-timers are exempt from the talent wellness policy.
What is that?
I know. What a bad
example.
And what a way to just show desperation. You know what? That clearly, I'll tell you what. That just proves to me that they are not confident in Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins or Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose main eventing. Because they were willing to exempt Brock Lesnar and not punish him.
No.
Just to save SummerSlam. They were not confident. That just shows you they are not confident in Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins being a draw for SummerSlam, or Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose being a draw for SummerSlam. Or hell, that means they weren't even confident in John Cena versus AJ Styles being a draw for SummerSlam.
No.
That's how less confident they were. So they were willing to exempt Brock Lesnar and keep him on so that he could still be a draw for SummerSlam.
That can't be. I can't believe those lies.
I think it's been going on for a while now because if you remember what CM Punk said on Cole Cabana's podcast, he was talking about how like Triple H didn't take a piss test didn't take a test for drugs.
I'm disgusted.
And how Punk was like, I took a test and Batista took a test. Did you? And then and Triple H didn't say anything, so that was a no.
I'm disgusted.
So that clearly shows that guys like Lesnar, Taker, Rock, Triple H.
We can't just say what Taker is. Oh no, now they're saying part timers.
But he's a part timer. You can't. So that means that Rock,
Taker.
Brock, Taker,
Wait,
Triple H.
I thought you said Rock twice. No, you said
No,
Rock.
Brock, Taker, Triple H. Who else is a part-timer?
Well, you said Rock. I said Rock, Triple H, Taker. Let's say Batista if he ever comes back.
Yeah, Batista if he ever comes back.
Shelton Benjamin.
I don't think he'll be a part-timer. I think they'll make him full-time. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Jericho?
Yeah, I guess Jericho. I guess Goldberg if he comes back part-time.
Yeah.
All those guys are exempt.
That is what example is that set? Well, then again,
and I don't know about Randy Orton if he's going to be part-time.
No, I don't think so. But that's just terrible. That I don't even know how. I'm speechless. I got nothing to comment about that. Like,
yeah, apparently that's what the news broke out is that all part-timers are exempt from talent wellness policy. Like, what kind of message does that send to the locker room? Like, that's just not fair.
No, it's not.
It's just another excuse for WWE to still keep Brock Lesnar in SummerSlam main event. I'm pretty sure he's going to be main eventing. I'll be really surprised if Brock and Orton does not main event SummerSlam.
Well, no doubt they'll main event.
But like that just shows you like how like desperate they are to keep Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, so they make sure that SummerSlam is a draw, so that they draw big for SummerSlam.
Well, no. Well, what if this would be unexpected, but what if like after at SummerSlam, Randy Orton and Lesnar do their entrances, they're just staring each other down, and then they chant to Lesnar, "Screw enhancements, screw enhancements."
I'm surprised Randy Orton hasn't been like in trouble with WWE for saying what he said at Battleground, but
no enhancement needed.
So then you got Paul Heyman making his promo on Randy Orton. Then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere.
No. That's true. But when he mentioned you'll never ever get an RKO out of the door, then he hits one.
Yeah, then he hit one.
Like, you might want to take that back now, Paul.
Mm-hmm. And then Orton dodged out of there before security could get him.
Gunned it.
And him in the crowd, it's like,
no.
I'll be honest though, you know. I wasn't a fan of Orton being a babyface, you know, of him, but I got to admit, since he's been back, I'm kind of liking how they've done him with this.
No, and then it can tease.
I'm kind of liking how they do it with like just like really crapping on people and really just like not giving like not caring at all. I'm kind of liking this Randy Orton.
No doubt about it. Almost as good as his Legend Killer gimmick.
I'll always say that the Legend Killer gimmick was like the best he's ever done.
Yes, exactly. And then we get on to SmackDown, where it continues. Where
overall, I'll say that Raw had its perks and it had its little flaws. Not much flaws, but it was very subtle.
Would you give it a grade? What grade would you give it?
I'll give it 7 out of 10.
If you had to put it in letters wise, would you give it a B?
Probably a C. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's just good.
Okay, right then.
That's all I gotta say. It was easy Raw to sit through, and hopefully next week we'll they'll keep it going.
Yeah.